My father-in-law reported me to CPS for injecting my daughter with drugs. He was standing in my living room smiling when the investigator arrived. He wasn't smiling when she left. My daughter Ren is 8 and has type 1 diabetes. Diagnosed at 5 after a week in the ICU that took 10 years off my life. She wears a glucose monitor on her arm and gets insulin with meals. It's not a diet trend. It's not negotiable. Her pancreas doesn't work, and the insulin is the only thing standing between her and a coma. My father-in-law, Gordon, has decided none of that is real. It started with comments. Kids don't get diabetes. That's an old man's disease. Then it escalated. He'd tell Ren, right in front of me, "You're not sick, sweetheart. Your dad just likes playing nurse." He called her monitor that tracking device. Twice. I caught him telling her she could have regular soda at his house because Grandpa doesn't believe in all that. The blow-up happened at Sunday dinner at our place. Ren finished her plate and I did what I do every meal. Checked her numbers, drew up her dose. Gordon stood up so fast his chair screeched. "I'm not watching this anymore. You're sticking needles in a healthy child." I kept my voice level for Ren's sake. "Gordon, you've seen her hospital paperwork. You visited her in the ICU. I saw a kid with a stomach bug that you turned into a lifestyle." He crouched down to Ren's eye level and took her hand. "Honey, listen to Grandpa. You're not sick. Your daddy has a problem. He needs you to be sick." Ren pulled her hand back and said, quiet as a mouse, "Grandpa, I was in the hospital. I remember it. He's taught you to say that." I told him to leave. He grabbed his coat and said, on his way out, "Someone with authority is going to hear about what happens in this house." I honestly thought it was bluster. 3 days later, a woman was at my door showing me a badge and a case number. Report of a child being routinely injected with unknown substances by her father. Medical neglect and possible abuse. And there was Gordon's truck parked across the street. He'd come to watch. He actually waved. He invited himself in behind the investigator, narrating the whole time. When I brought out Ren's records, the endocrinologist letters, the diagnosis paperwork, 3 years of prescriptions, he scoffed. "He prints those. You can make anything on a computer." When I pulled up the monitor app that logs every blood sugar reading and every dose, time-stamped, synced with her doctor's office, he said, "Rigged. He controls that phone." The investigator asked to speak with Ren alone. Gordon smirked at me like the trap had sprung. My wife, Dana, got home from her shift mid-visit, saw her father on our couch and a state investigator in our kitchen, and went pale. I held her hand at the counter and we waited, while an 8-year-old explained her own disease to a stranger. 20 minutes later, the investigator came out. She had also, it turned out, called Ren's endocrinologist directly, right there from our hallway. "Sir, ma'am, I have no concerns. Your daughter is receiving exemplary care. She explained her condition to me better than most adults could. Her medical team confirms everything." Then she turned to Gordon, and her voice changed. "You identified yourself as the reporting party when I arrived. I need you to understand that knowingly filing a false report of child abuse is a criminal offense. Based on what I've seen, a documented diagnosis you were personally aware of. I'll be flagging this report for review." Gordon's face went gray. "I was protecting my granddaughter. You told this office her diagnosis was fabricated. Her ICU admission is in her records." He spun toward Dana. Tell her I'm her grandfather. I would never." Dana said nothing, just stared at him with a face I'd never seen on her. "Dana, I'm your father." She walked past him and opened the front door. "You told my daughter her insulin was poison. You gave her soda behind our backs, twice. Do you understand you could have killed her? Not hurt her feelings. Killed her. You're choosing him over. I'm choosing Ren. Get out of my house." He stood there a moment, then left without another word. Dana closed the door, slid down against it, and finally cried. That night, Ren padded into the kitchen in her pajamas and asked if Grandpa was in trouble. Dana pulled her close and said, "Grandpa forgot the most important rule. You don't have to believe in something for it to be real, but you do have to protect the people you love." Ren nodded, checked her own monitor, and gave us a thumbs up. 112. Perfect. Just like her.